What is good, everybody? I hope you guys all had a great start to your week. I know we did here at the floor. Give me just a second here. I gotta boom. All right, guys. Welcome to the stream. How'd everybody do today? We dropped off like literally half viewers the moment I started speaking. Hell yeah. Sorry, we're lacking the light right now. I'm in content mode. I don't know if, yeah, I'm in content mode. I didn't move the light back yet, so we're chilling with no light right now, but it should be okay. But yeah, guys, Jerome Powell powers. Pretty much. But all right, guys, we started off. I'm gonna go ahead. Actually, I gotta take a quick refresher here because I'm like, mind is a little scrambled right now. So, welcome to the stream again. If you guys are new here, we're gonna be going through my watch list from A to Z, seeing what I like for tomorrow and possibly even the rest of the week, depending on when these setups play out. But first off, I do want to go over the trade that we took today on BA. We had a nice little one and done on BA today for a quick 14% or 14.5% trade. I know some people caught like 18 plus on it. So anyways, we'll go ahead and go over that real quick. It was a nice clean play, great way to start the week. And yeah, after that, we'll get into the watch list. But also, if you guys want to trade live with me and the team, click the link right below my face. It's going to take you to our WAP, and it's going to give you a 3-day free trial, so you might as well use it. Good afternoon. All right. Yeah, sounds good, guys. So what we were looking at this morning, I put it in the trade ideas today. I also put it in the nightly watch list last night, I believe. Yeah. It was in the nightly watch list last night. My mouse is dying too. Everything is going wonky right now. But anyways, it was in the nightly watch list last night here. I was looking at BA calls above 203.50, targeting 206.48 resistance break for my final target on this trade. I was expecting about $1.50 to $3 move on this stock. We did end up getting a pretty decent move here. We got out at, I believe, the 205.50 area, 205.60. We'll see here. I got to look back at my executions, but yeah, it was a nice little move here. So pretty much exactly what I was expecting from last night, which is always great to see. But anyways, that was the condensed version of the watch. I was looking at this 203.50 level, which was on the 15-minute and above, really. I mean, I think I actually got it from the 30-minute here, but I like 203.50. This is the level that I was expecting. If we break above this, I'm expecting to see momentum up into this 206.48 level, which was the next major level we had here on the 4-hour at 206.48. So yeah, that's what I was looking at. We ended up taking this. I got in a bit earlier than I actually signaled it because we did have less contract volume at the time, and I thought it was going to be a little bit too risky for the chat. But when we picked up volume, which we did very quickly, when we picked up volume and I was looking to add to my position, since I started out with a pretty light position, I did signal my entry here at 9:35. So right here on this candle, we did end up wicking this candle, still holding above 204, which was really the main level I wanted to see us stay above. We came up, pushed above 205. These contracts had such a wide spread at the time that I was actually barely green, even above 205 right there, up until we came back for the actual move. So came up to 205, broke above it, wicked, came all the way back down here to 204. The bid continued to hold this level. We slipped below on the bid a couple of times, but the ask was holding strong around 204.16. So that ask was really holding us up at the time, and the market was absolutely tanking. So BA was doing a fantastic job keeping its own strength here. But we ended up getting a nice push from this 204 area all the way up to the previous high of day right here. Nice break above that. And on that break, I believe is when I took off half of my position. Yeah, I took off half of my position here at 205.60, so pretty much peak on that candle. And then I sold the rest of my position here on the 950 candle as we were pulling back below 205.50. I just didn't want to risk the profits at that point in time. Contracts had decently wide spreads on pullbacks, so I didn't really want to just take that extra risk because typically I will leave my contracts until break even if I'm scaling out. But in this scenario, it just wasn't worth it because break even could have actually been decently red given the spread on the contracts. So it just wasn't a risk I was willing to take. So I ended up taking off my profits here at 950. Quick little 14.5% trade there and a little $1,144 profit. So that's what we were looking at for this morning. That's all we ended up taking. Not much else was going on. So as far as news and earnings go for this week, I feel like we don't always talk about this, but it's definitely important to talk about for this week specifically. We have FOMC announcement at 2 on Wednesday. We also have Powell speaking at 2:30. So knowing that, I'm trying to stay as little risk as possible up until after Powell is done speaking on Wednesday, which for me really means Thursday morning. Thursday morning is the first day this week that I'm expecting to actually be clean. Now, BA was clean today, and that's great. And it's odd because the last few FOMC weeks, we actually have had pretty clean price action compared to normal. But just on FOMC weeks in general, I always expect chop. I always expect messiness up until FOMC and Powell are done for the week. So that is my outlook on tomorrow and Wednesday. I'm going into these days expecting chop and expecting bad price action. So I'm in defense mode, and I feel like you guys should be as well. Can't tell you what to do, not financial advice, whatever. But I would be on the low side of the risk this week if it were me. Anyways, also earnings for this week that I'm interested in. We have Oracle after close on Wednesday, and we have AVGO after close on Thursday. Oracle and AVGO have actually became pretty frequently traded stocks for us as of the last, I was about to say 6 to 7 months. I'm going to say 6 to 8 months just because. In the last 6 to 8 months, Oracle and AVGO have been fairly frequent flyers for us here. So I am looking forward to those earnings. No, I am not swinging those earnings, but I'm looking forward to see if we have any setups afterwards. But anyways, we'll go ahead and get into the actual charting session here. We're already 12 minutes in, and I have not charted one single stock. So we'll go ahead and get to it. What's up, Dave? Levon, Nicole, Gabe, Logan. Sorry if I didn't say what's up to you guys earlier. But let's see here. As far as Apple goes, you guys already know I'm not a massive fan of Apple. This support here at, what is that? 775.96 does not look bad. However, doesn't seem like we're very aggressive to the downside right now. Apple kind of looks like it's trying to make a move back up. So I'll probably avoid that for now. My AMD chart is an absolute disaster zone. Oh my Lord. Let's see which one of these we can get rid of. Probably get rid of this and that, and no, that's not the one. Whatever. Fuck it, we're getting rid of all of them. Let's see here. Okay, AMD, only thing that I could possibly look at is the after hours high here at 226, which actually doesn't look bad. It is a bull flag that's in the process of being formed right here, and we have room. We have like no room on this I'm good. Okay. Moving on. AVGO unfortunately has earned. Is there something in my mouse? My mouse has been moving like very sporadically today. Like jumping halfway over my screen. But AVGO has earnings, so I'm not interested there. BA had. I hate these candles. It just throws off how the entire chart looks. I don't think I'm going to be looking at anything on BA for a second day in a row there. Baidu. Let's see. Contract volume is actually okay on this today. 131.40 doesn't look bad. I like the setup. I don't like the stock. But sometimes the setup quality can outweigh how much I don't like a stock. So we'll mark Baidu and just plan on, at best, it's going to be a side watch. Circle has earnings. Or I'm sorry. Oracle has earnings. Circle does not. Let's see. Circle's low of day is probably... Yeah, Circle's low of day looks good. 81.34 to the downside on this. We've got room down to right around 80.20. We have a 15-minute trend to 80.63. I do like Circle. That looks good. That looks good. Let's see. CRM, I'm going to pass. Crowd, I'm also going to pass. CRWV. Yeah, nothing here for me. Okay. I'm trying to think here. 89 actually doesn't look bad, but I don't think that's going to be a high enough quality setup for us to be looking at it. Disney, I'm all good. Or actually, hold on. What are we doing here? No, never mind. I am all good. Google, wow, Google came down and broke that level I've been watching for literally weeks. That is unfortunate. Okay. So Google broke below some pretty major supports here, and it looks like it's continuing to hold for now. Let's see if we have anything that looks realistic for tomorrow, though. Okay, so our major support level is 311.88, and we wicked below it on the 30-minute. Did we really get any real closes below on the lower time frames, though? Okay. Let's check the 5-minute here. Honestly, 311.88 on Google still looks good to me. I know we broke and we closed below on the 1-minute here, but we really didn't get any major, like, we didn't get any major price action below that level. So 311.88 is a possibility. I'm definitely interested in the low of day from today, though, at 311.22. Or, yeah, 22. That looks good. Looks very good. Okay. Google is great. Hood, I've been waiting for this one too. I love this setup. 138.99 looks fantastic. I'm definitely going to be taking advantage of that if we get the opportunity to tomorrow. So Hood, I'm just going to leave it exactly how it is. Nothing to be messed with there. INTC. INTC could be a thing down here at 39.60. I actually like this because it gives us just a ton of room to fall once we come down here. It's just a little far away right now. But INTC at 3960 looks good. This target would almost have to be momentum based because we have almost too much room on this. So, I mean, and that's not a bad thing. It just makes it a little bit more difficult to write a super cohesive plan for it. It's mainly going to have to go based off of what kind of move I'm expecting for it. I like having exact answers and not just expectations. So it is good when a stock has a bunch of room. It is also just a little bit more of a estimation game there. Microsoft, the setup at high of day from today does not look bad. However, I don't love the amount of room that we have. We've got, actually at high of day, we've got a decent amount of room. That's fine. I would probably just target this 93.50 level. And if we break that, I mean, the 1 hour trend's $1 above it. So Microsoft looks good. MSTR, I will pass. MU, I actually like MU here at 249.23. That looks really nice. If MU wants to make its way back into the rotation here, I'm down for it. 249.23 looks really good. It's just today's pre-market high, or sorry, after hours high. But either way, looks nice. Nvidia broke out after hours here. Let's see, we have about $1 a room on this. So for Nvidia, that's not bad. And for a quick scalp, I would be okay with that as well. 190.99, aka 191. We've got about $1 a room on this up to 192. So that's cool. OKLO has no contract volume. Oracle has earnings. PLTR, I'm not interested. PayPal, I would be interested if the contracts weren't 50 cents a piece, but I'm not. Shop. Let's see. Shop down there at 155.20 doesn't look bad. It's literally got volume on one contract. Everything else is just too low of volume to touch. So if we can only pick up 1,300 in volume by the end of the day, I don't think that's worthwhile to look at. Snow. I don't believe we have anything down here. No. And then I believe last but not least here would be Tesla. I'll check out the last 4 we have on the watch list, but I highly doubt we've got anything. Tesla is actually kind of in the same boat as Apple here. I actually think Tesla looks like it's trying to turn back around to the upside. So I'm not super interested in Tesla. Low of day could be something that you could trade and probably get away with, but to me, it kind of looks like on the smaller time frames that it's trying to make a bit of a recovery before we continue down. So I will leave Tesla off here. UPST has no volume, Walmart has no volume, and XYZ has no volume, and ZM has no volume. So okay, cool. Did Baidu just start tanking? I swear. I think it did, yeah. Okay. Baidu might be off the watch there, even for the side watch. But we do have a few really good looking setups that I'm a fan of. So I will go ahead and start writing these out here. And also, we got a decent amount of people in here. That's cool. I'm glad to see that you guys are at the stream and taking advantage of it. Also, for everybody that's in here, turn your post notifications on and your stream notifications on so you don't miss another one, because we literally hand out bangers in this stream every single week. So I don't want to see anybody say I didn't try and help you. But no, we got a decent amount of people in here. So also, when we're done with the watch list, we're going to do a little Q&A. So if you guys have any questions you want to ask, save those, wait till the watch list is done, and we're going to have quite a bit of time left. So, all right, circle. I'm looking at the 8134 support on, well, low of day for a break to the downside. Do have a single question, but it's very general. That's fine, Nicole. Doesn't matter how broad or specific it is. Okay, on this, we have room down to 80.05 on the 1 hour. Let's see what we're looking at on the 30-minute. Okay. Cool, cool. Okay, room down to the 80.05 support. End of. Let's see. Okay, 81.34, and then I'm probably just going to set a couple targets here for myself. Targeting a break below 81, then 80.50, then the 80.05 support for my final target. Easy peasy. Okay, next up here we have Google. Google, looking at the 311.22 low of day as my main level, taking a possible early entry at the 311.88 support on the 4 hour, because we were never able to hold below on the higher time frames. Targeting a break below 311, and after this we have room down to what? Did anyone else in the chat take other trades besides BA? I do not know, Tony, but if we have people from the chat in here, I'm sure they can give you the answer. Okay, we really have room down to the 310 break pretty easily, which would be about what I wanted to target anyways. $310 break, and then below 310 we've got this right here at 309.60. Sweet. Next up, we have Hood, which I am copying and pasting from the trade ideas this morning because literally nothing has changed in the past 4 or 5 times that I've uploaded this exact trade idea. But I'll read it out for you guys anyways. Looking at the 138.99 resistance for a breakout. Targeting a move to the 140 break for my first target, then the 141.75 resistance, which is the top of a 1 hour fair value gap for my final target. Now, I don't trade fair value gaps. I mean, I do occasionally, but not any major positions. It's like for a starter position on an early entry occasionally if it looks perfect. However, I have seen these respecting over and over and over again with our targets. So I do like using them for targets. So my max room that I would be willing to give this is up to 141.75. Above that, I think it could be a pretty easy rejection, or even at that level. I typically will look for a break of my target level in order to exit my position. In this scenario, I am not waiting for a break. If it touches that level, I'm just going to be out. Next up here, we have INTC. Looking at the 39.60 support on the 4 hour for a break to the downside, targeting a move to 39, which lines up with our next support area. Overall on this, we have room to fall. Overall on this, we have room to fall down to the 37 range. Okay, Microsoft, I'm going to be looking at the 492.30 high of day for a breakout into the local highs, targeting a move to the 493.50 break, and above this we have room to the 1 hour uptrend at 494.47 for my final target. Next up, MU. Looking at the 249.23 flat top from today, targeting a break, targeting momentum above the 250 break. Final target on this will also be momentum based. I don't have any exact targets that I'm looking at for MU here. I think we have a decent amount of room up, and MU sometimes can make some really decent moves and sometimes is literally fighting for its life to try and make a new high. So we'll have to see on that one. Hopefully we get the version that's, you know, making crazy moves, but it's not always the case. So we got to be a little protective of ourselves here. NVIDIA looking at the 190.99 after hours high for a breakout, targeting a move to, targeting a move to 192. Okay, is that everything? That is everything. Okay. Cool. All right. Circle is downside. Google is downside. Hood is upside. INT upside. Oh, sorry. INTC is downside. Microsoft upside. MU upside. And NVIDIA upside as well. So we've got equal amounts of upside and downside here. That's always nice. If those of you that are not in the floor want to screenshot this and keep it for your own reasons, whatever those reasons may be, feel free to screenshot it, save it, mark out those levels, do what you want to do with them. For everybody that's in the floor, I'm sending this watch list in the chat right now. Okay. Cool. So that is everything that I'm watching for tomorrow. Obviously, we don't know yet if these trades are going to happen tomorrow, but if these trades do approach, this is what I'm going to be looking at. And we have 25 minutes left here in the stream. So feel free to ask your questions, whatever questions those may be. If you're not in the floor, join up, son. There you go. Listen to Tony. Click that link right there. Actually, it might be more like right there, I believe. Either way. All right, guys. I'm going to give you just a second if you have any questions to make yourself ask them. I'm also going to get my face out of the way, so if you just want to screenshot this, you can just screenshot the watch list. But ask your questions, please. I'm happy to answer. Tony, that is a wild marketing tactic. All right. Basic question is when you're looking at contract pricing and the price is pretty low, like less than $1 per, what is that based on? Is it volume? It really just depends on the stock. Certain stocks have more expensive contracts. Certain stocks have cheaper contracts. So like, I'm trying to think of an example here. Like Tesla's contracts are always going to be priced around the same range, right? Monday through Friday, they're all relatively the same. Last Monday's contracts were probably about $8.75 a piece at the money. And that goes for every single stock in the watch list. Now, typically, the cheaper stocks are also pretty low volume. But the contract pricing is literally just based on the stock. I don't know how to give you a better answer for that. Like, yes, they do have lower volume typically, unless it's something like SPY where the contracts are relatively cheap, but also super highly liquid. But yeah, typically the super dirt cheap contracts are low volume and they are on low volume stocks as well. Guess I noticed because Tesla is usually too expensive for me, but BA today was relatively decent. Yeah, so there's certain stocks that you can stick to. I mean, unfortunately, I've said this a million times, BA is one of my favorite stocks still to this day, even though we only get opportunities to trade it like 5 times a year. But BA is one of my favorite stocks to trade when it has a setup. Unfortunately, the majority of the time it does not have a setup, and it also does not have the volume to support me trading it. Now, could I trade it? Yes, probably, but do I want to be the majority of the volume? Not at all. So BA is one that is this price all the time. CRM is another one. I mean, they're all the same price all the time, pretty much. But CRM is another one that's relatively cheap. KO is dirt cheap, like way too cheap. Trying to think here. I don't really have very many stocks on my watch list that have dirt cheap contracts because I never trade those stocks. So there's no need for me to have them on my watch list. It was a pretty nice scoop today. TBH, I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah. Yeah. It was really a pretty clean move as well. I mean, I know we had to hold through a bit of drawdown here, but it held the levels that it needed to hold just fine. And even if I would have ended up stopping out here, the stop would not have been bad at all. It's interesting because the spreads towards the highs where I should have been green, like I wasn't. And you would think that in the drawdown that would make me even more red than I should technically be. But in the drawdown, I really wasn't down much. Like it wasn't painful to hold through whatsoever. So interesting contracts there. But yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, do we have any more questions here? Is that generally the same for spreads between bid and ask? Yes, Nicole. All the stocks that are like notorious for wide spreads and contracts that are notorious for wide spreads, they're always that way. Like SMCI before SMCI split, well, before SMCI tanked $1,000 and then split, SMCI had wide spreads all the time. Contracts had wide spreads all the time. Kind of like, trying to think of something to compare it to now. And I guess we really don't have any stocks that are, or I say any, we don't have many stocks that are always bad. Coin is always pretty bad as far as the spreads go. I always know when I'm looking at coin, I'm taking on a bit extra risk because the spreads are wider than something like Tesla or Nvidia or Google or Meta or a lot of these stocks. Coin has wider spreads than the majority of these. So yeah, I mean, that's the good thing about options is, and well, trading the same stocks over and over, is the options on Monday, unless the stock has earnings, they're always going to be, if you're looking at the money contracts, they're always going to be pretty much the same price on Monday. They're always going to be pretty much the same price on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I mean, obviously they get cheaper as the week goes on, but they get cheaper by the same amount. So you're still, it's still consistent. Like you're not randomly one day going on Tesla on a Monday and contracts are $100, right? You're pretty much, you know what Tesla contracts are going to be at all the time if you're looking at at the money contracts. What's my top 3 stocks to play? I'm going to have to say Tesla as one of them. Meta is actually one of my favorites. And honestly, recently, Microsoft has made its way up to one of my favorites as well. My top favorite, I'm going to have to default to Tesla. I am. We really haven't been trading Tesla a whole lot recently, but for quite a while, Tesla has always been the one that is most consistently returned to. I feel like recently, though, it has gone through quite a bit of time where it was just no setups, which is odd. It seems like within the past, I don't know, 4 months or maybe even longer, past 4 to 5 months, it has been relatively no setups. Like I think that within the past months have probably been the longest duration between Tesla trades, if that makes sense. Because typically it's like an every other day thing, or used to be an every other day thing, if not an everyday thing to be watching. But it just really hasn't been presenting the greatest opportunities to us. So is it more liquid than a lot of the stuff that we trade sometimes? Yes, but also there's just better opportunities elsewhere right now. So I've been kind of just focusing on those and not trying to just force a trade on Tesla just because I want to trade Tesla. All right. Any more questions before we wrap it up? I'm going to go ahead and take that as a no and say, make sure if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel, also down here. Click the link that's right below that subscribe button. Come see us at Pre-Market Review tomorrow. And yeah, I'll have a live trade out tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. So if you're not a part of the floor, but you still want to enjoy some of the live trades from an after the fact standpoint, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel, turn your notifications on. Live trade coming out tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, and I will talk to the rest of you. Well, what's for dinner? Sorry. Tony, that's a great question. Either turkey or spaghetti, one of the two. Not sure yet. I'm really not hungry. I haven't eaten all day though. I probably need to eat something. But anyways, all right, guys. Like I said, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you all tomorrow at Pre-Market Review at 9 a.m. Eastern. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and I will talk